those listening across cities, across nations, across the world. Good day. I want to speak to you today about a shift, a necessary shift in how we see ourselves, how we see one another, and how we move through this world. Because for far too long, humanity has been conditioned to look at each other through a material lens, titles, appearances, status, possessions, identity labels. But what if I told you that this way of seeing each other isn't complete? What if I told you that the next level of human evolution requires us to move beyond seeing each other as just physical beings and begin recognizing each other for what we truly are, expressions of energy? That's right. We must begin to understand this clearly. You are not just a body. You are not just a name. You are not just a role. You are a living field of energy, a moving, thinking, feeling presence that carries a certain state into every space you enter. And so is everyone else. When you begin to see people not just as who they appear to be, but what they carry, everything changes. You stop reacting to surface level behavior, and you begin to recognize underlying states. You stop judging people solely on actions, and you begin to understand the conditions of their internal alignment. You stop taking things personally, and you begin to see clearly what is being projected. This shift alone elevates your awareness. Now, let's go deeper. Every single person, regardless of identity, background, or physical form, carries both masculine energy and feminine energy. Okay? This is not about gender, though. This is about function. Masculine energy is direction, structure, logic, discipline, action, stability. Feminine energy is intuition, emotion, creativity, flow, nurturing, awareness. Both are necessary. Both are powerful. Both exist within you at all times. And here's the key. Alignment comes from balance. When your masculine and feminine energies are working together, 50-50, equilibrium, you are clear, grounded, intentional, and aware. You can feel without being overwhelmed. You can act without being reckless. You can think without becoming rigid. You can flow without losing direction. That is alignment. But when these energies are not balanced, you become misaligned. Too much masculine without feminine. You become rigid, controlling, disconnected, overly forceful. You act without feeling. You push without understanding. Too much feminine without masculine, mind you. You become unstable, reactive, overwhelmed, unfocused. You feel without grounding. You drift without direction. And in both cases, you lose control of your internal state. Now, this is where the confusion comes from. This is where emotional instability comes from. This is where poor decision-making comes from. Get it? Now, misalignment creates inconsistency. And inconsistency creates instability in both the individual and society. Now, imagine a world where instead of judging people based on surface-level traits, we recognize each other based on energetic alignment. You would no longer ask, what do they have? What do they look like? What title do they hold? You'll begin to ask instead, are they grounded? Are they balanced? Are they aligned? What energy do they carry into a space? And when you start operating this way, you become more intentional about who you engage with. You become more aware of what you allow into your space. You become more responsible for what you bring into the lives of others. Because now you understand every person is an influence. This shift is not small. This is how humanity evolves, mind you. Because when individuals begin to master their internal energy, they become less reactive, more disciplined, more aware, more intentional. Conflicts decrease, clarity increases, decision-making improves, relationships stabilize. And when enough individuals operate from alignment, society itself begins to change. Less chaos, less emotional volatility, less unconscious reaction, more order, more awareness, more balance. This is how we begin to move toward becoming a more advanced species, not just technologically, but internally. Because true advancement is not just what we build outside, it's how we operate within. Now, understand this. Elevation does not mean becoming attached or detached from reality. Elevation means becoming more aware within reality. This means you feel deeply, but remain grounded. You think clearly, but remain flexible. You act decisively, but remain aware. You are not easily thrown off by others. You are not easily influenced by emotional turbulence. You remain centered, regardless of what is happening around you. This is what keeps you grounded while evolving. Because without grounding, elevation turns into instability. And without elevation, grounding turns into stagnation. You need both. Just like masculine and feminine energy, balance is everything. So now the question becomes, what energy are you carrying? Are you balanced? Or are you operating from extremes? Are you aligned? Or are you reacting unconsciously? Are you contributing to stability? Or to dissonance? Because every interaction you have is an exchange. And every exchange either elevates or disrupts. So, I say this to you clearly. We must begin moving beyond seeing each other as just material beings. We must begin to recognize each other as energetic presences. We must understand the balance between masculine and feminine within ourselves. And we must commit to alignment because alignment creates clarity. Clarity creates stability. Stability creates progress. And progress, when sustained collectively, leads to evolution. So, remain grounded, remain balanced, remain aware of the energy you carry and the energy you engage with. Because when you master this, you do not just improve your life, you contribute to the advancement of humanity itself. And that is how we rise. Ashe.
The shift has begun. Alignment is no longer optional.
There comes a moment when presence alone shifts the world.
Harmony, compassion, justice, not ideals, the foundation of what comes next.